morning, I'm Gary Jacobs. I'm guest hosting for Chris DiMaggio on FIT-TV. Our next guest is not only a mother, in which two of her sons are professional MMA fighters. She's a motivational speaker, published author of a book, Karma, Keeping Animal Rights Movement Alive. She's an intuitive spiritual advisor, energy practitioner, trained hypnotist specializing in past life regressions. She graduated from Stony Brook School of Medicine with a degree and license in psychiatry as a psychiatrist NP, and has her own practice called Tools for Life, Holistic Psychiatry and Energy Medicine. She's also co-host of a talk show, Make Your Day at 10, Thursdays at 4 o'clock on Public Access TV, Channel 20. Welcome our guest, Shimane Devlin.
Hello, Gary.
Thanks for coming to the show. Good.
Thank you.
As you can all tell by our introduction, there is a lot to talk about, and we only have a half hour to do it. So I'm going to narrow the talk today to what is stopping you from living the life you dream of, and how to remove your unconscious patterns that actually prevent you from living the life that you want to live. Now, everybody wants to live the life that we dream of. There's nobody who doesn't want to do that. What's stopping us from living the life that we dream of?
Well, actually, it's your unconscious. So 95% of most people's lives, you're living unconsciously. So picture like you going to work and you're driving to work, however you get to work, and you don't even recall the drive because unconsciously you know how to drive now. It's not like you're 16 years old and you have to think of everything and you just do it. So that is actually how most of our lives are run, which is great because we need our unconscious to, filter our blood, heart, everything. We don't have to think when we walk. We don't have to think when we write things down. So in that, though, is that 0 to 6, that you have all these downloads from your caregivers or your parents, whoever it was. So if a child falls, the first thing they do is they look at their caregiver. And what's their response? What's the reaction? And now they're going to take that on because it's a download. This is what you do here. So now they have all of these downloaded unknown to them, and you are living by your reaction of how it was, how your parents, their parents, programmed, totally programmed. And yet, which is not a bad thing. I don't mean it as a bad thing. However, it is when you don't, I don't want to do this again, or I don't want to be like my mom, I don't want to be like my dad in this area. However, then you end up being that way.
It's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
Well, it is and it's not. It's actually very physiological, like how these programs, there's no override, there's no reprogramming. So, and not to say that you can't reprogram it. So you have these neural pathways that are programs, and yet you're going to do it. It's just, even if you say you don't want to do it, if you don't put another program in, you're going to fall back on that one. And that's what happens, especially when you're under stress because your body goes into a whole physiological response. So in that, you're just unconsciously reacting when you're in a stress.
Now, a lot of us realize that this is happening. We don't realize why it's happening, but we look back sometimes and we say, you know what, this isn't what I wanted my life to be. So some of us say, you know what, I'm going to take the bull by the horns and I'm going to go to a therapist. You say this traditional therapy really doesn't work, and of course, we see people who've been going to therapists for 30 years, and they're still not happy.
And with that, I don't want everybody, all these therapists and everything, writing me and psychiatrists. When I say, most therapy doesn't work in the sense of, well, when you're just talking about your problems, one, if you come to me, and yes, I prescribe, however, I do a lot of therapy, but in a different way. I don't listen to venting. Venting is just, you're talking about it energetically and you're just going to repeat it. Yeah. So you want a solution where most men are, if they go to a friend for a problem, they're going to them because they know they're going to give them some type of answer. Right. So women can be different. So, and I'm not saying all women, and it's just that a lot of times they like to talk about things. Right. I must have been a man many times in my past life because if you're telling me something, I'm going to give you a solution. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. That's why you're telling me. So in that, I might want to hear the story or somebody else hear the story, but it's kind of like your blueprint. Just like, say, in marriage or relationships, that's not like the person I had before. It's not like it. Yet the similarities kind of come true, right? And that's weird because you don't see it. Unconsciously, you don't see what you're doing. And that's where conscious awareness is, to be aware, mindful of, what are my thoughts, observing and being present in the present moment. And which that means is that you're not reacting, you're responding. Right. So if I'm reacting, I'm not thinking about something, I'm just going to take this and just do it. Or you yell at me and I just react. But now if I step back and I don't take it personally and I start processing it, I'm going to respond.
But isn't that part of our problem is taking it personally? You know,
right,
when
and
you
what
go to a therapist, they tell you, but if they really tell you
but
what
now
needs to change, you may say, you know what, I don't like this therapist anymore.
Well,
I didn't go for that.
And in that, that's where somebody being where, do I really want to change things? And there's all approach. So when you're doing that, though, in your brain, you're going into the limbic system. So when you're under reaction, if anything you see, your body sees, or you see as a threat, you're actually physiologically going through all these changes. You're in the limbic system. Your eyes are going to now dilate. Your blood pressure and your heart rate is going to go up, and all these physiological things, stomach enzymes, all this stuff is happening. And yet, it could be a little thing that somebody said, but it triggered something which is in your amygdala, and all this is memory from your past you didn't even know, that caused this whole reaction. Now you're not responding, you're reacting to something that's not really about you. It's about something that was in my past that made me feel blah, 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 blah. And now I feel like you're a threat. And yet now that's why there's also these heart conditions, or there's stresses of how it affects your body, because it really does. So in that, it's when you're in the relaxed mode, your body actually heals. So in a stress mode, your body doesn't heal, your immune system shuts off. And there's so many other disease factors that can come into play. So there's more than this than just changing your life for this, this, and this. It's actually your quality of life.
So you're trying, but when your people are coming into you, before you hit them with all this stuff, you're putting them in the right frame of mind, you're saying, to be willing to accept.
Well, when somebody's coming in to see me,
they're not coming in because they're happy.
Usually not, but I have to tell you, I have amazing, amazing people. I do a lot of spiritual growth. I don't see, that type. I do private practice. It's very different. So if somebody's coming in to see me, yeah, they might not be happy, whether it's in business or they're really depressed. So now, what are they really depressed on? So my eval is like 2 hours, about 2 hours, and it's a lot of different questions and a lot of seeking to understand, but also going into their unconscious of what is this really about? And one, they're giving me permission. So in that 2 hours, there's a development of trust as well. So I want them to trust me. I really want to know what's going on. I want to help them. And the only way I could do that is for them, one, to give me permission, and two, that they're going to be an active participant in this. And that is a big difference.
So it's work.
Yes, it's work, but I feel it's amazing work. It might be hard in the beginning for somebody.
For somebody to come in, it's got to be emotional, and you're asking them to maybe reach into parts of their.
But when it's emotional,
actually,
that's really great. Right. Because when you're emotional, you're actually in the unconscious part that's reacting. So for me, it's like, oh, there's the source of what we could get rid of. Right. So and in that, it's for them, they're in a safe place and they want change. They wouldn't be there.
You mentioned just a second ago about spirituality, and that I guess you're a spiritual advisor. Now, when I think of spiritual, you think of a religious leader, a priest, a rabbi. What do you mean? What is a spiritual leader, and why is that different?
Funny you said that. I used to be so religious when I was 13, 14, and I used to be drop me over church. And I'm not, and nothing negative to say about religion. I'm not religious though. Religious has all these rules which are great for some people. Spiritual is that I'm open. I'm open. There's definitely, whether somebody wants to say it's God, Jehovah, higher source, universe, but it's energy. And energy is, if you look up energy, it has the same exact definition as God. Right. It's always been, it's always has been, and always will be. And in that, it's, energy is just that. And we're all made out of energy. I mean, everything is energy.
So I guess, because you also say you're an energy practitioner. So are they one and the same, as spiritual and energy? When you say spiritual, so you're not talking about God or? Well,
that could be for some. Everybody, I'm not going to be prejudiced. Like if somebody calls it God, but that's how they grew up and that's what then that's God to them. To me, it's, higher source, which is, in that. So energy, but being an energy practitioner and different than spirituality, yes, it is a little bit different. And yet it brings it back in. Where there's energy healing and there's also other things about energy.
But they talk about spiritual healing as well, so is there a difference between?
Well, right, so now, but if somebody, I believe they're all one. So, but if somebody gets really turned off by that, like say if, that's their beliefs, and I respect them.
And then you just go with the energy. And
well, I do talk about energy all the time. I usually do talk about energy.
You mentioned energy. When I think about energy, I think of, well, we just say that's karma. You know, somebody has good karma, they have good energy, and
but now,
what's the difference between karma and energy?
Well, karma really means of what the acts that you're putting out and living is what it's going to transcend for you to get. So if you're doing all these good things, you're going to get all these good things back in tenfold. So, and vice versa if it was negative.
Well, I always say I have good parking karma, because whenever somebody wants to pull in front of me, I say, you know what, go. I'm always the person who waves them on, and I say, you know what, I must have good parking karma. I still never find a good parking spot. So I don't know.
Well, that you just have to attract a better shot.
And we all say, you know, hey, karma's a bitch, and this person's a nasty.
No, but we all don't say.
Well, I say it sometimes. Yeah. You say, you know what, this person's so nasty, and you know what, I believe in karma, and one day something's going to happen.
Well, careful your words. Careful your words, because when you're saying that, you're actually attracting that onto you. So
that's not good that I wish it. Just if it happens, you're saying?
Well, one, if it keeps reoccurring, we attract everything in our lives for reasons. Okay. That's part of our karma, to learn. It's always about learning. So whatever's happening in someone's life is always for them to learn. How they learn it is up to them. I mean, I've been humbled many times in my life when I was younger and all of these things. And now I'm always like, all right, what am I supposed to learn here? Because I don't want to hit rock bottom. I don't want to. There's always something to learn and how you look at it. So in every event there is an opportunity. Right. In every event, and I've been through divorce. I have a handicapped son as well as the MMA sons. So I've been through my share of different things. However, there is an opportunity in every event, and what you do with your life, it's not who you are at that moment. It's what you do with it that makes you who you are.
I know we're really good touching lately on these things, and we'll give your website out at the end, because there's just so much more to go through. One of the things you do is hypnotism.
Yes.
Now, when I think of hypnotism, we spoke about this the other day, the only experience I really have is going to Las Vegas and watching those crazy shows, and people get up on the stage and do these crazy things, and you say, you know, how could somebody do these things? And I say, well, if it really does work and somebody's a good hypnotist, you know, why don't they hypnotize me to lose weight and hypnotize everybody to stop doing drugs and stop being bad? Tell me.
Well, one, you have to give permission, and hypnotism is not and like it is on TV or on the stages, and we did talk about it a little bit, about, we have this misconception. Being hypnotized or getting into your unconscious and getting hypnotized is one and the same. So when you're under hypnosis, you're tapping into the unconscious, but you have permission. So you're giving that person permission. So it's a very big difference of that part. So it's an amazing thing, because you can put those downloads right away in.
Can everybody be hypnotized?
Yes, they can. And when I say that, if you would have asked me this 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I probably would have said, no, I could never be hypnotized. As long as you're giving permission and you feel safe. Yes. And
because I would say, you know what, I don't want to be hypnotized. Who knows what I'm going to say?
Well, but then you just said, I want to get, lose weight. I want to do this. Right. I want to do that. All right. Well, I have a better way for you too. So I do a lot of EFT, which is they call it emotion freedom tapping. I just call it tapping. So now what tapping is, and this is an amazing, amazing energy healing. You've heard of acupuncture.
Yeah.
So acupuncture is you go over the meridians, all these different things. However, tapping is going over your meridians and all these access points and releasing or allowing other energy in. So think of like New York City at gridlock. It's a gridlock. You have to go to uptown to downtown. Can you get there? Nope. Can't get there, right? So now think of your whole body system under stress, because that's exactly what's happening. You do not have that flow. So now the tapping allows you to process or put things in that you really want, yet there are blocks. So, we talked about a little bit. So let me hear, something that you've been through in your life that you feel like you always get mad or angry with, or this is never going to leave, or stress. It always, like, this is a continual problem.
One of the things you say is that you can solve all these problems in 15 minutes. So
I don't want to say just me. You're an active participant.
Okay. So I mean, as an example, since I'm here and I'm not paying you, so I may as well take advantage of the situation. One of the issues I have is that when I think of the judge and the law guardian in my divorce case, who just pissed me off because of what they allowed to happen to my children, I get upset of what happened to my children, and I feel the anger. I feel my blood pressure physically. I know there's physical changes.
Yes, good. Tell me, you feel angry. What else? Give me some more adjectives.
Well, I feel angry. I just, you know, of course, I'm a stress eater, so sometimes to make myself feel better,
Where do you
I'll say I'm
feel
gonna
it in your
treat
body?
myself.
Where do you feel it in your
I feel it
body?
more in my stomach, I think, and I feel my whole body.
Okay.
I feel like I really feel like my blood pressure is going up.
And I'm sure it is, because physiologically, when you're angry, when you're stressed and a threat, you have your blood pressure go up. You have actually cortisol being released, and that's why you're eating out of stress, and that's why you're metabolizing differently and gaining weight. It's all connected. All right, so I'm going to have you put that down. So now this is going to sound confusing at first, but you're going to follow me. So we're going to do these tapping points, okay? And we're going to do 3 cycles. Do we have 15 minutes?
We're a little less than 15,
okay.
so we can talk fast.
So, well, you're going to, first one is here, okay? So you're going to do the side, I need you to do this with me.
Okay.
So you're going to do the side of the hand, okay? The next one is going to be the middle of your eyebrow, right there. You're a little bit lower. Yep. Next one is going to be your temple. Perfect. Then underneath the bone of your eye. That way. You're right there. Yep.
Okay.
Then over your lip, over chin. Then find your clavicle, which is your bone here, and right underneath it.
Okay.
Perfect. And then underneath your armpit, but a little bit 3 inches lower.
Okay.
And you're going to tap. And then the top of the head.
Just tapping?
No, you're going to see.
Okay.
All right, so now this is, I want this consistency.
Okay.
Okay? So now you're going to repeat after me. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, then 1 whole round, and I'm going to ask you. So 0 to 10, how angry do you get first?
Oh, when I'm really thinking about it?
Well, I want you to think
even
about
just talking about it, you can see my voice gets louder.
0 to 10.
I would say an 8 or 9.
Okay, so an 8.5.
Okay.
All right, and you feel angry, frustrated, mad, and when you think of her face and how she got away with all this stuff, the judge, how do you feel?
Oh, I get disgusted by it.
Disgusted.
Yeah.
So 0 to 10 on disgusted.
10.
All right. So now we're going to go here first.
Okay.
All right, and you're going to repeat after me, okay?
Okay.
And if I close my eyes, it's only because I'm just trying to hold that space. All right, so ready? Even though I have these feelings.
Even though I have these feelings.
And I get really angry.
And I get really angry.
When I think about the divorce and the judge.
When I think about the divorce and the judge.
I completely and totally.
I completely and totally.
Love and accept all of me.
Love and accept all of me.
Even though I get so angry.
Even though I get so angry.
And I'm so disgusted.
And I'm so disgusted.
Of what happened.
Of what happened.
It gets me so pissed off.
It gets me so pissed off.
I completely and totally.
I completely and totally.
Accept the way I feel.
Accept the way I feel.
Even though I have these feelings.
Even though I have these feelings.
And I think they'll never leave.
And I think they'll never leave.
I'm open to choosing a new way.
I'm open to choosing a new way.
And I love all of me.
And I love all of me.
And accept every part of me now.
And accept every part of me now.
We did those 3. You're going to go middle eye. All right. Feeling so angry.
Feeling so angry.
About the divorce.
About the divorce.
Temple. And about the judge.
And about the judge.
Over side, right. I get so mad.
I get so mad.
Of what happened.
Of what happened.
Now under here. I feel like I was cheated.
I feel like I was cheated.
I feel like I was so wronged.
I feel like I was so wronged.
I don't know how this happened.
I don't know how this happened.
Over your lip. I'm so angry about this.
I'm so angry about
it
this.
It affects my whole life.
It affects my whole life.
When I think about it, I get so enraged.
When I think about it, I get so enraged.
Chin. I don't think this will ever go away.
I don't think this will ever go away.
I just hate her.
I just hate her.
I don't know why or how she was even a judge.
I don't know why or how she was even a judge.
Now clavicle, right underneath. Got it right underneath the bone. Even though I have these feelings.
Even though I have these feelings.
And I get so angry at this.
And I get so angry at this.
I'm open to choosing a new way.
I'm open to choosing a new way.
I don't think I will.
I don't think I will.
But I'm open to it.
But I'm open to it.
Now underneath. If you're a girl, I'd say bra strap. So you're going to take your fingers and tap it. Even though I get so angry.
Even though I get so angry.
And when I think about it.
And when I think about it.
I feel like I'm right there again.
I feel like I'm right there again.
Top of your head. Now you're going to take both your hands together. Together. Yep. Even though I have these feelings.
Even though I have these feelings.
I'm open to choosing a new way.
I'm open to choosing a new way.
And I love all of me.
And I love all of me.
And I accept every part of me now.
And I accept every part of me now.
Now you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose for 3 seconds. Hold it. And release for 3. Now I want you to give me a number, 0 to 10, of what your anger is right now.
Right now? It's almost not really there right now.
Okay, but we're just talking about the judge. Let's talk about the judge again.
Right.
How angry do you get right now?
Right now, I'm not really angry about it. I feel like it's, silly to be angry at it, really.
So give me a number, though.
I would say a 1.
How about now, frustrated or disgusted?
Yeah, I would say it's a 1. It's not really bothering me at this moment
anymore.
anymore.
We're going to go, right, but we're talking about it.
Right.
Now think of the judge. What's the judge's name?
Marion McNulty.
Saying her name, how is it?
It still upsets me a little bit.
Give me a number. I want a number.
A 4.
Okay, a 4. So we were an 8 and a 10 before. What are your thoughts? Any thoughts, images while we were tapping of anything that came up?
No, I didn't really think. I sort of think about it. I don't know why it was getting me mad and why it was stopping when we were doing this, really. Okay. And what made me think is like, well, all right, well, that's good right now, but I don't know what the hell just happened. But what's going to stop it when I walk out of here?
It will. Get
Okay.
Ready? Last time now. Even though I've been through so much.
Even though I've been through so much.
And maybe that was so wrong.
And maybe that was so wrong.
I'm ready now.
I'm ready now.
To take the gifts and what happened.
To take the gifts and what happened.
Side of your eye. I'm ready now.
I'm ready now.
To see past the illusion.
To see past the illusion.
Underneath. And use this for my higher good.
And use this for my higher good.
I forgive every part of me.
I forgive every part of me.
Over your lip. And even though I've been through this.
And even though I've been through this.
Maybe there's an opportunity in it.
Maybe there's an opportunity in it.
I'm ready now.
I'm ready now.
To take back my power.
To take back my power.
Where I've given it away.
Where I've given it away.
Knowingly and unknowingly.
Knowingly and unknowingly.
Chin. I'm ready now.
I'm ready now.
To take back my light.
To take back my light.
Where I've dimmed it.
Where I've dimmed it.
For the reasons.
For the reasons.
Of injustice.
Of injustice.
And being wronged.
And being wronged.
Now, underneath clavicle. Maybe that really happened.
Maybe that really happened.
But maybe there's a higher purpose in this.
But maybe there's a higher purpose in this.
And I'm ready now.
And I'm ready now.
To use it for my higher good.
To use it for my higher good.
Underneath now. In my highest light.
In my highest light.
And love.
And love.
Top of your head. I completely. Accept all of me.
Accept all of me.
Love every part of me.
Love every part of me.
And honor all of me.
And honor all of me.
And I surrender.
And I surrender.
Now take a deep breath in. And hold it. And we're going to release through our mouth. We're going to do it one more time. I'm going to breathe in for 3. And release through our mouth. And now tell me if we talk about the judge and say her name.
Marion McNulty. I don't feel as much anger. I don't feel like I'm taking
a
deep breath.
What do you feel any?
No,
I know you're looking for it, right?
No,
you're
I
like,
am
where
because
did
I'm
that go?
it is. It is strange. It just comes out easily.
Yeah. Well, one, because you were in that grid, like think gridlock.
Right.
All that anger and all that negativity is not truly who you are. That's not who your being is. Think of a newborn baby. They're just so joyous and perfect, right? And then over time, we get all this debris and contaminations of what should have happened, what we are supposed to do, or how somebody says we are, and now we believe it. But that's not really true to us. And it really dims our light. It actually contaminates you inside. And actually, that's how diseases, and when you say your heart rate going up or your blood pressure, no doubt, because physiologically that's proven.
No, I've said that over and over again, that this created something that I'm not. I'm not an angry person, but this turned me into an angry person.
Right. And now it's like it's giving your power away with unconsciously, not purposely, because you wouldn't do that.
Right.
And like, how did I do that? And now it's like getting back your power.
So what happened? What happened just now?
We released that. We released
Is it
that
gone
stuck
forever?
energy. Well, I will tell you, I would definitely say that part is gone forever. Will other things come up? Yes, because just like say if you have a habit and you do this and that habit's done, but you realize that maybe you take other people, so say somebody else goes through a trauma or whatever they're going through. And this is where it's very careful of just observing and not getting so involved in somebody that now you're owning their feelings, because it's not what's bothering me, it's who's bothering you. Right. So it's careful of being aware when I'm starting to feel like that and to do your own tapping. I mean, most people, they say, oh my God, it's really released when I do it with you. Well, I'm holding that space for you. I'm holding that energy space for you, and that's, when you're good at something and that's your gift, I'm able to do that.
So this doesn't work at a home alone?
No, I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does work. It does work.
Okay.
Would it have worked as that much? Maybe not that much, but you would have got it down.
Right.
Yes, but now you're working from this number instead of that judge was the highest point, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, if you're starting from like 0 to a 3, easily work on it.
Right. And all the people watching who
But
can't stand Marion McNulty, try this, because we shouldn't let her destroy any more lives and take any more than she has.
Now it affects your children. It affects all of these different areas. And think about kids through a divorce and how the parents are reacting because they don't want to be like that. I mean, parents do the best they can with what they have. They don't want to be bad parents. So it's like in doing that and working on that, it's going to help your children immensely. And really that is what we really want.
Right. We're down to the last minute, but I don't want to leave because that was amazing.
So it worked.
It did work, but
you were a skeptic.
I was skeptical, but
you just trying to stop me.
I will.
I love it.
One question. I want to get down to somebody's on drugs. We just did a show about the heroin addiction.
I do that a lot. Yes, and I was watching that show, and it was great. I do it. I do Vivitrol, which is a great opiate blocker. However, I do energy work with them, and it's amazing. I'm amazed.
So you work with children. You work with children.
Yes, yes. My specialty is children, teens and adults. And
so do you work with families together, or is it all individual therapy?
No, I love the families, and I love the hard teens because they're the smartest ones.
Okay, great. Yeah. Keep up the work on the animal advocacy. That's something that's important
I love
to me
that
too. So
and that fills your heart, right? When you with animals, so it's like those are ways to refuel. You always want to refuel.
Great, Shimane, Devlin, thank you very much for coming.
Welcome.
You got so many things to talk about. We'll put the information on the bottom of the screen so that everybody can look up your website. They can go. I got to tell you, 15 minutes. That's great. Does insurance cover this?
Yes, actually.
Wow,
it does.
That's amazing that it does.
That's a good thing about getting licensed.
That is a good thing. I'm Gary Jacobs, in for Chris DiMaggio with FIT TV, and we'll see you next week.